long ago in a living room very much like yours, two women made up a podcast on how movies link up to each other, and they called it 6 Degrees of Feature Film.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I am Judy Hops, also known as Miss Movies, also known as Brienne.
And I am Carrot Top,
Sure.
also known as StacyOHoward. Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, you know?
Yeah, I'm off to Comic-Con next week.
Yay!
Although this will come out way after that,
Yeah.
so I hope I had a good time.
You did.
All right. Great.
You died from exhaustion. R.I.P. Brienne.
Yeah. Hey, we have a guest today. And guess what? This is the second half of the Film Vault. We had the first half.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the first half last week.
Mm-hmm.
What's
so
the
now
first half?
we have Anderson Cowan on.
Wait, what's the first half?
The first half would be Brian Bishop.
No, he's not the first. I'm the first half.
Well, technically, because we had him on first before you.
Mm-hmm.
Although technically we've asked you more than we've asked him.
Okay,
so
well, I like that.
You had the
so
opportunity
you tried to get the first
be
half
first.
on here, but okay.
Right.
I'm Anderson Cowan, yes. Maybe, what, Nick the Fox? What's his name?
Nick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zootopia.
Nick?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be Nick.
Yeah, you're Foxy.
Yeah, thanks. I'm also unpredictable.
True.
Whoa.
And
okay.
untrustworthy. So that works.
Okay.
I watched that
Sure.
Zootopia again just last night.
Did you?
God, I love that movie.
Isn't it so cute?
So good.
It's
And
such a
guess
cute
what,
little
guys?
movie.
We have Zootopia in our backyard. Stuart Little.
Yes.
There's a little Stuart Little out there.
Smallville. Where was the little town that I just saw it last night, but they
I
had a
think
little
you
like
saw it?
Marmotville or something
Yeah,
where all
it's like
the
Oh, right.
Mouseland.
yeah.
That's right.
Mouse Motel. I don't even know.
Yep.
But I liked how everything in the movie is to scale, basically. And so we have a
Right.
little, it wasn't like bunnies and rats together as same size. It was like a bunny is giant entering this little
Right.
road in town. I thought that was really cute.
There was a little bit of segregation in that town, despite the fact that they were trying to talk about equal rights across all platforms and all species.
True.
They did segregate themselves throughout, but I guess they have to because they're animals, and
Yeah.
like the cold
That's what
animals
humans do.
needed like the freezing part of town, and it made sense.
Well, on our
No
show.
penguins in that movie. I wonder why.
Because it wasn't a
Oh.
cold climate.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, Zootopia is just one little city.
They had the frozen part, like Mr. Big lived in the
Wait.
frozen part.
Oh, yeah.
The
Where
polar
were the
bears.
penguins?
Where were the penguins?
I don't know.
Auspiciously missing.
They're off
wait,
with Morgan
wait.
Freeman talking on a march or something.
Let's take a step back for a moment. For those people that don't know what we do on the show is we take one film and we
Oh,
show how
yeah.
6 other films link up to it with some sort of varying links of degrees and such. It's a reverse bracket. And our feature film today is Zootopia.
No, it's not, is it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
What?
You serious? Because
What do you mean?
I linked my stuff off Easy A.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you're supposed
yeah,
to do.
that's you. So it goes Zootopia, and then we're going to go two
Oh,
off
okay.
of there,
Yep,
and
yep,
then
yep,
two
yep.
off
You're
EVA.
going to link Easy A to Zootopia.
Yes.
Yes.
Good luck. Enjoy.
We, have
We already
links.
did it.
We already did it.
When?
We
I
have
mean,
the
we
links.
haven't talked about it here, but we've
We're
already
gonna
figured it
explain.
out.
Okay.
All right.
Calm down, everyone. We're
All
going
right.
to explain it, okay?
Okay.
We're going to get there. Don't worry. We got to talk Zootopia first, and then from there we'll do our links.
Spoilers.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about Easy A soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry. I'm trying to figure. I'm catching up on the fly here. Here we go.
Okay, good. I'm glad you've listened to the show, or
Yeah.
at least
I
an
did. I've
episode.
listened to some. I've
Okay,
listened to
okay.
the beginnings of a few.
Good,
That's-
beginnings.
the beginnings. That's why you don't know. But
If
we're
I were to
gonna
add
do-
them all up, it would be like 1.5 shows.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Okay.
sampled a
That's
bunch.
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know
That's
what's
pretty
also
cool.
awesome? I listened to Anderson's 2 podcasts.
Well, I have 3, so that's very hurtful.
I don't listen to the third one. Sorry.
Oh, is that the first half? You don't listen to that one?
What? No, I listen. Well, I used to listen to the Film Vault,
Right.
and I listened to After Disaster.
Uh-huh. And cinematics?
No, I don't listen to
You
Cinematic.
bitch. Can I say bitch? Am I allowed to say
You
that?
can say fucking whatever you want.
Really?
It's okay. Yeah.
I didn't hear any
Well, okay. I go a little off the rails.
She's
and
Mommy-
I like
it's
to have
crazy.
Mommy
some,
dearest over here
yeah,
doesn't?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Sorry.
she's the nice, calm one that's like, Stacy, reel it back a bit.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you can say whatever you want. We'll just have to put an explicit sign on
Sweet.
the episode.
We always do.
Yeah, I mean, it's either one or the other. You can't
Here's-
have like some episodes,
Let me tell
unfortunately.
you why I don't listen to cinematics, because I don't
'Cause
see
you're
enough
hurtful.
movies in the theater.
Right,
like,
but
currently, like I made a list of all the films that I've seen this year and seen in the theater, and it was like maybe 10 films at most, which is a lot for
we'll
a
talk
mom.
about cinematics and why it could work for you later. I don't want to
Oh,
plug up front 'cause
okay,
that's ugly.
all right.
It's ugly
Sure.
when people do that. You know what I
All
mean?
right, we'll do.
Because everyone's
we'll do
expecting
Dan.
it at the end.
Yeah, they're expecting it at the end. And once you put in your due, then you can do your little plugs. But
Okay,
when
okay.
people do it up front, it's like, all right, settle down, everyone. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
Settle
Well,
it.
let's get settled. Let's strap in. Let's talk Zootopia.
Let's talk Zootopia. So then instead of having Stuart Little in my backyard. I have the Godfather mouse.
Oh yeah.
Could be the Godfather mouse, or
Mr.
the
Big.
or the
Right.
little girl that gets saved.
Oh, so we're
Maybe.
spoiling this
Oh,
one
the
too.
little mouse. Yeah.
Oh, we spoil.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
it
This
talks
is
whole
what the
movie.
show is.
Mm.
For sure.
Zootopia has now been out for. It'll probably already be. It's already on demand and all those other places.
Yeah, and it's like one of the highest grossing films of all time. I think it's in
It
the
made
top
over
20.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for that movie.
Mhm.
hmm I like it.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
It's my favorite movie so far this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. When people call me a film snob, I point to that. I'm like, not say, slow down. Zootopia is my favorite movie of the year.
There's so many good indie films this year, though.
Yeah, Green Room is right behind it. And by the end of the
Green
year,
Room.
once I see Green Room again, it might leapfrog it. But right now,
Huh.
Zootopia, Green Room, Popstar.
I
Those
just
are my
saw
three
Green
favorites.
Room last night.
So good.
I liked it.
Green
can't
Room's
picture you in-
amazing. I just
You
saw
saw it?
Swiss. Yeah, love Green Room. Anton Yelchin.
Oh,
Damn
so
it.
sad.
One of the best.
Yeah.
All of his indie films are always amazing.
Yeah.
He was incredible in this film. And then I saw Swiss Army Man as
Uh-huh.
well. I saw Neon Demon. Those are
Yes.
the last few.
I
indie
Those are
love
two
films
tough
that-
Neon
watches.
Demon.
Yeah, no, Swiss Army Man I really enjoyed.
It's my least favorite movie I've
oh,
seen all year.
what
I
is
hated it.
happening
What about
in
Neon
front of
Demon?
my face right now?
Yeah,
oh my
hated that
gosh.
movie.
Da-na-na,
It was
na-na.
it was difficult. Yeah, I know. It was supposed to be very funny, I think. It was
See,
hard.
I laughed a lot.
I appreciated like the indie qualities to it and how like it was a small movie and it was original and all that, but at the same time it felt like a music video at like its best moments, and it felt like a really bad movie
Well,
at
those
its worst.
directors are from music videos.
Yeah, they're music
the
video
Daniels.
directors.
So
It wasn't really saying anything that profound, but it felt like it thought it was profound throughout. So you know what I say? Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Oh, I hate it. 1 star. Okay.
all right, we're gonna agree
Wow.
to
Wow.
disagree.
I
on that
rarely
one.
1-star movies. Rarely.
Dang. Okay. Good to know. But you dug Green Room, which is okay. I'm gonna give you a pass for that one.
Okay, yeah, Green Room.
Yeah, love Green Room. But Zootopia. Okay.
Zootopia, yeah, we're
It's
back to
always
Zootopia.
happening.
Did you know that the guy that directed this also directed Wreck-It Ralph, which I still have yet to see,
I can't believe you haven't seen Wreck-It
You'll
Ralph
dig
yet.
that. You'll like that.
and Byron Howard, who also did Tangled. I like Tangled.
John Lasseter is also one of the producers, which is always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Bush is also a director. I don't know what else he's done though.
Jared Bush.
I think he's been like an assistant director for most of his.
It's always difficult when you're
Right.
looking at animated movies because they have
Right.
so many directors. There's actually 3 directors on this one. They have
Right.
the top 2 billed, and then the second card will say co-directed, and that's where Jared
Mhm.
Bush's name comes in. They always have like directors that work just with the voice actors, and then they have a different director who's like they're not even in the same room a lot of the time. He'll be working with all the animators in another room. So,
Right.
and then they marry them 2 together. I don't know why they had 3 on this one. They had like 7 writers on this one. That's all usually a
10.
really
10
bad.
writing credits.
That's usually a
10.
really bad sign.
It is.
Like the
But it all
Flintstones
came
movie.
together.
Had I think 30 writers or something
Oh,
absurd.
jeez.
I'm
Do you
making
think
stuff
that's
up.
because of the fact that it's animation and we have to go through all these moving pieces and voice acting and the
I don't know why there's so many
computer
on this
people?
one. Usually it's a really good sign. If you see like one writer, one director, that's a singular vision and it's going to be good. And hopefully that director is taking, suggestions from his crew and other people that are working on the movie so that they can say no to bad decisions like many were made in Swiss Army Man. But with this one, usually it's like everyone had great ideas and they all got credit for it, perhaps.
Well, because originally the story focused on Nick the fox,
Right.
and then they tested it, and audiences were like, "No, we identify more with the bunny."
I want to
And
know
with
how to get
Judy-
on this test audience business.
Yeah,
how
I
do I
know.
get that
We're-
game?
I want to get paid to go
Watch
to
movies
and-
before.
No, they
Yeah.
you see them. They're like, hey, can I interest you in a free movie this
Yeah,
Thursday
but
at
I
7?
don't
I went to a
always.
few of those because I saw Fury that way, and
Mm-hmm.
then I gave him a piece of my mind about a certain scene, which we've talked about, and I've gone off about that movie. And I wrote, how they tell you, like, you can write notes at the end. So I
Right.
spent like 30 minutes
Wow.
as everyone walked out,
Uh-huh.
just writing my heart away, like it was the final in my
Yeah.
essay English
Did
class.
that final scene make the movie?
I
It
don't know
did.
because I didn't.
It did.
Yeah, it
I
did. It's
saw
still
someone
in there.
comment.
It's
Was
still-
it?
not
Was
the-
there
not
a
the final.
nose, a detached nose in the tank that you did not like?
No. It was the scene where they meet the girls for the meal.
Yeah, the
in
licking of
house.
the eggs.
I didn't like how they treated the girls in that scene and how they portrayed how women are treated during wartime. I didn't like that, and I thought it was really unrealistic. And the rest of the movie was super realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what the hell is this thing in the middle of this hot mess in the middle of something that would have been like a perfect
It's
war
funny
movie?
you zeroed
So-
on that scene because that scene is where the movie kind of fell off the cliff for me as well.
Yeah.
But it was there for a reason. It was there to show that Brad Pitt, his character, was still like a cut above the men that were working underneath him because he was
See-
like their hero in that scene.
Yeah, but
Like,
for
he
me
defended them.
though, I didn't like the way that they had the girl, and I get into this in another episode more, but the girl was like, you know, she'd never met this boy before. They don't even speak the same language. And then basically she's like falling in love with him immediately and is like really upset when he leaves. And I'm like, fuck that. No, that happens to women all the time. They may, you know, hook up with a guy, sleep to survive so that they don't get raped later. You know what I mean? And then it's like they treat it as if she's treating it like a real relationship. And I'm like, that's not what would have happened. And also, if the men would have been alone and talked about their time earlier in Africa and how they became so close, maybe it would have made it more impactful later in the scene when everyone else died. You know, I just...
everyone else dies in Fury, evidently.
I
didn't see it.
Yeah, there you go.
It feels like that whole scene could have been like a 90-minute movie in itself, and they really like broke it down and made brevity the point, and people were leaping from one thing to another way too quickly because they had full respect for Brad Pitt the entire movie, and then as soon as they get around the girl, they start acting like children. It made no sense at all.
Yeah,
I hated that scene as well.
Yeah, okay.
Good job,
So
Stacey.
I
hate it too.
I want to know how I get in on this sort of thing. Although, like, most of the screenings that I get sent, you know, they're like 2 days from when they send it out, and it's usually things that are coming up pretty quick. So I don't know how I get in on the advanced screenings.
You got to go to one, and then you get the notifications for all of them. I don't know how to get on the test audience, or I guess I was part of a test audience, like pre-screen kind of thing, but I don't know how you get, like you said, how do you get in on that first one? Like where they get the feedback and then they really...
I mean, maybe there are some because some come through that like they don't give you the title of. So it could be those.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyways.
I don't know.
Moving on.
Just
maybe they don't have a title yet.
That's also true.
There you go.
There was a poster for Zootopia and Big Hero 6. Did you know this?
I did. I saw that trivia. Did you know that there's different animals for the news anchor depending on what country it's released in?
For the what?
For the news anchor. Hold on. Let me find my little thing.
Yep.
So...
Australia had a koala.
Yeah.
We had a snow leopard, I think.
Koala. Or Japan had a tanuki, which is like a raccoon dog. China had a giant panda. Brazil had a jaguar. So whatever country you're
Mexico had a chupacabra.
Right.
I bet they had a chihuahua.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You racist.
I'm just going with what I see on Taco Bell commercials.
Did you know the pause button on the printer in the DMV is a little paw? A pause button.
Oh, that's cute.
Get it? Isn't that super cute?
That's cute.
I loved it. And Kristen Bell was the voice of the sloth. Have you guys seen her video?
Oh my gosh, the reveal of
sloth.
the sloth. Was
the one that he asks if she wants to hear the joke.
Yeah.
Not the main sloth. Flash is the main sloth.
That's right.
Both times I've seen this movie now, that sloth scene at the DMV has made me cry.
It's so funny.
Like I was crying,
Like,
not even
of
from
laughter?
laughing, not from laughing so hard. It's just so good that like my eyes well up. It's bizarre.
That was the first thing that I saw about this film was basically that little cut scene.
Oh, yeah.
That's no way to see that scene for the first time.
I know. I was like, what's happening? It's kind of funny though.
It is funny, but it's a lot funnier when it's ensconced within the movie.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Very true.
Mm-hmm. It takes a pause. And it gives you that scene.
See what you did there.
Yeah, I see.
I did like. Did you like this, Stacey, as well? The pirated DVDs that Duke Weaselton is selling are movies with words that play to other Walt Disney animated features.
Yes, I like
such as Pig Hero 6, Floatsin for Frozen, Wrangled for Tangled, Wreck-It Rhino for Wreck-It Ralph, as you know. Giraffic for, I guess, Gigantic is coming out.
Stretch.
No, for like Jurassic Park, maybe?
It would be Jurassic Park, I would say.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
But it wasn't. I guess there's some movie coming out called Gigantic that they're mentioning there.
Okay,
the Weasel is somebody, too. Whoever was playing the Weasel.
Is it Alan Tudyk?
Yeah.
Yes, Alan Tudyk.
Who also played the Duke of
Weselton.
Weselton, who she mispronounces as Weaselton in Frozen, and then this one she calls them Weselton, but it's Weaselton, so they switched that.
You guys like Frozen?
I like
do.
Frozen, yeah.
I don't understand the hubbub. I just don't get it.
Female empowerment?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's everywhere. So is Brave. I love Brave.
Brave is great.
Brave kind of got
superpowers. That's why.
I think it's the
because
lesbianic stuff going on. Yeah,
it's supposed to.
You don't understand it because you're not part of the LGBT community. I'm like, seems like a lot of people understand it that aren't.
I think it could work on many different levels. Like it's not just. It might not just be about someone that's afraid to come out. Or it could also be like someone that's like living with autism and you know how they view the world and how the world views them.
Speaking of which,
so
Life Animated is a documentary that everyone should see. It's in theaters, I think, right now, and it's all about a kid. He's like a 24-year-old adult now, but he experiences the world through Disney films, and he's autistic. He's severely autistic, and he's been watching Disney movies his whole life, and that's how he communicates through the world is by understanding these movies. It's really, really good. Life animated.
Is it in just theaters like in LA or?
Yeah, but it'll
across
be
the
like on
country?
Netflix real soon.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna watch it then.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
It's
I
really
love
good.
documentaries.
Put that in your put it in your,
Put it on my
your
list.
catalog. Yeah.
Very good.
My notes
I
on my
have
phone.
Netflix now, so hey,
I can't believe you
Awesome.
didn't have Netflix for the longest
For a
time.
long time.
You're crazy.
it's the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Just discovering Netflix
no,
now.
it's more of a we didn't have it for a while, and then I was like,
$7.99 a month.
we got to go back to this because
It's
we
hopping
have
up
kids.
to $9.99.
Yeah, I know,
now.
$9.99.
I keep getting that notification. I'm like, I fucking know. I'm still gonna watch. Shut up.
I got it in 1999, and I feel like I should be grandfathered in. Like they should be like, all
Right.
right, you've been with us since the beginning. We'll let you slide at $7.99.
We'll do 10% for you instead of 20.
Yeah, they should do that. Yeah. All right.
Anyways.
Any more Zootopia? Fun
Let's
fun
move
facts.
it on actually
Yeah.
because we got to link it off to our next 2 films. We're going to link it to films that portray stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Stereotypes are very much portrayed in this, and that is where Easy A comes in.
Yes.
There are stereotypes in Easy A.
Virgin stereotypes, hoary stereotypes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nerdy stereotypes, gay stereotypes.
Mhm.
The virgin.
All it
yeah.
just runs the
Super
gamut of
Christian-y
high
da-
school stereotypes.
Yeah.
Super Christian stereotypes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda Bynes. This is her last movie.
I know.
This
Ever?
is her-
No, she might still come.
No, this is her
No,
last
I'm
movie.
saying last movie as of right now. This is the last movie that she's done, and it
Sounded
was
very
released 2010.
Final, like she was dead. She's not dead yet.
No.
No.
She's not
No.
dead. No, I don't
This is
think
her
so.
last work of.
Yeah,
She's
the last
crazy.
work that she's done, which is, I mean, she worked for so long, and she was one of the good ones. She was one of the, in my opinion, sane ones.
Right.
She was like a child.
Sometimes people
Comedian
are just tired
prodigy.
of it. They want to leave.
Yeah.
That's
but
what happens.
then
Lily
she-
Sobietsky, same thing. She was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I made her cry once.
What?
Mine-
What are you talking about?
I interviewed her for some movie, and I was just talking to her
Yes.
about Stanley
Kubrick.
Kubrick. Yeah. And then she started crying because he had just died.
Oh,
And then I
shit.
started almost crying too. Yeah, it was a scene. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lily,
An
why
actual
would she leave?
She,
I like her.
she wanted to be a mom.
Yeah,
Her
she
mom.
wanted to
Yeah.
have a family, I guess.
Same with Phoebe Cates. Just disappeared from the ether.
Yeah,
She
her
kind of
and
pops
Kevin
up every now and
Kline
then.
I haven't
No.
seen Phoebe.
Where's Phoebe?
Wasn't she on like Weeds and stuff? Like
I don't
once?
watch Weeds.
I don't know.
I don't remember this.
I looked at her filmography recently.
So it wasn't film, it's TVography. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just where she ends up
Oh.
more often than not. Okay.
Sure.
There's lots of people that need to come back.
So
Stereotypes.
Easy A came out
Mhm.
September 17th, 2010. It's about a clean-cut high school student who relies on the school's rumor mill to advance her social and financial standing. So I like how she like jets to fame because she supposedly has sex with someone.
Well, notoriety
I
at
love that.
least.
Notoriety.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was like more notorious, I think, right? Than a lot of people hated her as a result.
You know that the director of this, Will Gluck, also did Friends with Benefits and Fired Up.
That's right.
As
And
well of
the
Annie.
new Annie movie, which
Mhm.
we don't even need to mention that one. But
Mm-hmm.
I like-
Racist.
Friends with Benefits was okay.
I get it confused with the other one. There's two that came
Yeah,
out at the
remember there
exact
was
same
no
time.
strings attached in Friends with
Right.
Benefits, and
That's
it was
Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis is Friends with Benefits.
Friends with
Okay.
Benefits, not terrible, but pretty awful.
And then No Strings Attached
Probably.
was Ashton Kutcher and
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, who and it.
I
they were
haven't seen
both-
either of these, but I know.
They were both released at the same time, and it was right after Natalie and Mila had just done Black Swan together, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Like you'd think they would have talked about their movies they're about to do, and they're like, "Oh, you're doing a Friends with it, so am I." But it's No String to. You'd think they'd be like,
Maybe
"We're doing
that's
the
why.
same-" I mean,
maybe that's why. Maybe one production company wanted it, and then they lost it, and Mila Kunis, and then they just swept in, and they picked up the leftovers. Not that Natalie
Hollywood,
Portman is ever
man.
leftovers, but
Hollywood. How does that work? I don't understand this town.
I don't know. Just like when they had Ants and A Bug's Life come out at the same
they
time.
used to do it a lot more often than it doesn't happen as often anymore. But like two Prefontaine movies came out at the same time, and then we had two Volcano
Yes,
movies
that's
coming
right,
out, Dante's
right.
Peak and Volcano, like the same
Yeah.
weekends. It's bizarre how that used to happen a lot more than
Deep
it does now.
Impact and Armageddon. Wasn't
Yeah.
that another one?
I think it's happening this summer with something, but whatever.
White House Down and whatever
Olympic
that
Has Fallen.
16.
There we
Olympus Has
go.
Fallen?
1600, whatever it was. It was the address. Remember? It was the
I
address
don't
of the White
know.
House. There was a movie.
I don't remember that. I just remember Olympus,
Olympus
Has
Has
Fallen
Fallen.
and White House Down.
Well, those
which
are connected.
I
Yes.
Those
saw.
are sequels.
I didn't see
Arlington Road in 1600.
I
Whatever.
I just
About
remember
terrorism.
Olympus Has Fallen. I saw, and I was like, this movie was meant to be released in the 90s with
Yeah.
like Steven Seagal starring. Like
Throwback.
Someone wrote it in the 90s
Yeah.
and then went out and got drunk and left it at a diner, left it at Denny's in like a booth, and they didn't find it until like 20 years later.
it
And
was
they were
in a
like,
time
let's make this
capsule.
fucking movie.
Yeah, it's funny because like overseas, that kind of movie is really in vogue right now. So they make their money overseas. They
do.
still release them over here sometimes.
I believe it.
Like Bruce Willis, he still makes the same movie like almost every year. We don't even have to see it because it goes straight to VOD and DVD, and then it makes tons of money in theaters over in Asia. They
That's
love it. They
crazy.
can't get enough of that Bruce Willis.
They're still about those 90s Hollywood 80s
Yeah.
and 90s like stars, like those action stars.
They're a little behind.
Yeah. They're always behind.
They'll be talking about Easy A in about 20 years.
Yeah.
We're doing it now.
Hey, kind of.
Some podcast in Slovakia or whatever is going to be covering it. We'll be like, okay, old school.
Easy A.
You liked this movie. I remember you
I
liking this
love
movie because
Easy
I
A.
remember buying this movie for you for Christmas.
Oh, you did? No, you didn't.
Yes.
Nope.
No, what
I
happened
do have
was
Easy A. I realized that. And that
'cause
must be
I
from
bought
you.
it for
Thank you. Appreciate that. I also have Beverly
All
Hills,
those
Troop
reviews.
Beverly Hills from you.
I also bought that for you
Still in
and
the wrapper.
delivered it to your house.
Still in the wrapper. She didn't
I
hand deliver it.
not-
She had it
yes.
sent to my house.
That's
good.
right.
All right. I'm going to watch it one day. The wife loves that movie, and I dread it, but I will watch Troop Beverly Hills one day.
Speaking of hand delivering, did you once hand deliver a T-shirt to someone's house?
I did. It was
Let me-
very
let's
awkward and
go over
embarrassing.
this.
Why? This has
'Cause I
nothing to
just
do with
wanna
Easy A.
know about
Nothing to
this
do with it. This is
experience.
when I told this story to my wife, like when it happened like a year and a half ago, she actually covered her face in shame. Like she does that.
What is this
She'll
story?
hide.
What's this T-shirt? Who's this person? I
We
need to know.
sold our first round of shirts that we sold for one of my shows, The After Disaster, a couple years ago. We did it all by hand. We only sold a couple hundred of them, and like we just got together and we were writing out the addresses, and then we went down to the post office and took hours and sent them one by one. And I noticed one was like within a few blocks of where I work in Culver City. So I'm just gonna hand deliver this one. It's gonna be sweet. It'll save me like $4 in postage, and I'll just drop it off on my way to work. And it wasn't nearly that easy. Like it was dark by the time I got there, and sprinklers were going off, and I couldn't find the address because street numbers are hard to come by. I finally find the place. I go up. I'm getting like all wet from the sprinklers. It's awkward. I knock on the door. The guy opens the door, and I say, "Hey, here's a package." He's like, "Oh, thanks." He just puts his hand out. He barely even. And then I'm like, "Wait, I should say that it's me because I'm like, I'm Anderson, by the way." And then his wife's like, "Oh, what?" And then he's like, "Oh, hey, it's cool." I'm like, I gotta go. And it was just awkward. It was just awkward and weird. And then it turns out that my buddy Tyler, who actually is one of the co-hosts on the After Disaster with Mike Carano and I, he works with that guy's wife now, and she like brings it up. And she was a volunteer counselor way back when at the camp that I do every summer.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, 6 degrees right there.
Whoa.
You can't
Everything's
just
connected.
gloss over the camp that you do. You have to kind of say what that is.
I do. I'm a volunteer counselor at an oncology camp every summer, and it's awesome and it's really fun. And this might be my last year because now I got my own kid coming, which might change everything.
That will change everything.
I don't know if
Not
I'm gonna-
might change
Next
everything.
summer, I don't know if I'm like, "Honey, I'm going off to play with other people's kids for a week." I think she might say, "You got a kid here to stay home for?
Yeah.
Stop it." But yeah, I'm leaving in a couple weeks. Can't wait.
It's
Yay.
exciting.
That's awesome.
So anything
People-
else we want to say about Easy A, even though we haven't really said anything?
I mean, I love her parents. I always go back to
Rosemary
Patricia
and Dill.
Clarkson
Mhm.
and
The
Stanley
Tucci.
Tucci are amazing in this film.
They
and
are.
they're small little roles, and they have just
The
wonderful moments.
Cherry
in
on
this film.
top of a
Yeah.
really good movie.
Yeah.
And they really bring it home to make it almost a great movie. This is not like a cinematic movie. This could have been made for TV, but it still works.
Mm-hmm.
Performances are great. It's in the same vein as like Mean Girls. I think most people have probably seen
Yeah,
Easy
Mean
A,
Girls.
right?
You'd be surprised. I feel like it kind of slid under the radar. I didn't see it till it was probably out on
Like seeing the trailer, like
DVD.
I never thought in my lifetime I would ever need to see this movie, but I loved it. I think it was one of my favorites that year. I really, really liked this movie.
I liked the message. I liked its social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the performances. I liked Emma Stone in
Emma
it.
Stone killed
She's
it.
perfect.
I think
She's
it's my
adorable.
favorite role of hers. Yeah.
She's I mean her comedic timing and her just adorableness in general was exactly what this role needed, because it could have been like it could have been done by anybody else, and then you would have no sympathy for the girl. Like if the person was like too attractive or too awkward or too funny or too normal, and then they're trying to make her be awkward, and you're like, that girl's not awkward, she's normal. You know, you wouldn't have bought it, but she sells it to where you believe that she is this character who is a wonderful person, but just doesn't play into anything in high school and doesn't try to do anything. And so she's just not the super popular girl because she doesn't want to be. She doesn't care. That's not important to her.
Which is very attractive to most people listening because it's empowering. She's like not playing the game. And most of us wish that we could have gone through high school or
not
maybe
playing
we're
the game.
watching this and we are still in high school. And I would love to have seen this when I was in high school. I think.
Yeah. You
Girl or boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, she basically is just like, I don't need to do anything that these people are saying, that the whole time. And then once she realizes that her social standing could change after she does this one thing for her friend, she's like, I have this weird power now. I'm going to see where it goes. And she's not doing it because she wants to. She's doing it as more of a social experiment just to see what happens. Because she's smart enough to
so little about her high school reputation and the grant, because she has like this ability to be able to see her life like down the road. Most kids, when they're in high school is everything. That life is everything. They can't, and I was guilty of it too. You have a hard time seeing beyond high school. I can't even remember most of the people in my school. I have no. Does not matter.
Yeah, I don't talk to anybody.
When
in
I
high school.
hear these sad kids that are in high school, especially when I worked on Loveline all those years, and I'd hear them, they call up and they'd be like suicidal because of their social standing at school. It's like you just want to grab them and go, it won't. Just give it 5 years. It's not going to matter at all.
Right.
It's so insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
I think that Rosemary and Dill really play into that though, because you see how her parents are.
Yeah.
Probably have instilled that in her to not care.
Because they're kind of kids themselves.
Because her parents are great people and her family is good, and she knows that, like, as long as you have a strong sense of yourself, foundation, you have that, strong family unit in childhood, it doesn't matter, like, nothing else matters. Like, it doesn't compute,
Right.
So I really liked that message, and how she was like, I'm just going to see where this goes, because she can manipulate it now because she knows there's not going to be consequences, because she doesn't give a shit. Because she knows that it doesn't matter. So
is this streaming anywhere? For people who may not have caught up with Easy A yet?
It's probably on Amazon Instant Video for like $3.
Yeah.
Any movie I ever search, I can usually find it on Amazon Instant Video, and you rent it, you can play it for like 24 hours. So
it's worth a watch, guys.
For sure.
Let's move it on to the next film that we have that goes into stereotyping, and that is The Breakfast Club, which came out February 15th, 1985.
85, good year. This is my speaking of my wife again. She thinks this
Was born
epitomizes the 80s, and she thinks it's the corniest, cheesy movie she's ever seen.
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
She makes fun of me for defending it.
See, that's interesting, though, because a lot of people look at this as, like, the high school movie. Like, this is what defines high school films and teenage films.
Because of the fact that they look at all the stereotypes of high school, or some of the stereotypes of high school?
Yeah.
And it was the first movie of its kind. I mean, John Hughes really stumbled onto something when he decided to have these kids. It was a high concept movie. They're all 5 of these stereotypes are in one room for the entire movie, talking about their respective groups, and it was genius. It's almost like 12 Angry Men. Modern day.
It is.
Yeah.
And he only wrote it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
That's like, he's so weird. He wrote that in 2 days. He wrote Weird Science in 2 days. Like,
I think that maybe he wrote The Treatment in 2 days. I don't think he wrote the full.
Well, because a lot of this is ad-libbed. Or not a lot of it, but they're like the scenes where they're talking about why they're in there for the detention. Right. They all made that up on the spot. He just let them kind of talk. And they rehearsed the whole movie like a play about 2 or 3 times, they said.
Right, because it was shot in sequence.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if you're just in one room, really.
Yeah, other than like the air duct with, what's his name up
Bender.
there? But with Bender in the air duct, they barely, and then when he, of course,
down the hall.
I mean, he does. The movie does end with a freeze frame of him fist pumping the sky.
That was ad-lib too.
Well, kind of wish he hadn't ad-libbed that part.
Oh, but that's
an iconic image.
But it freeze frames and it gives you the douche chills. I like.
Oh, see, I
kind of
like the freeze frame.
Rocky in a way.
Yeah, it's a little.
Any movie with a freeze frame at the end, you lose a point. Right?
I disagree. I love the freeze frame. It's the fist.
Don't all Rocky films have a freeze frame?
I think they might.
They do. Creed did too, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Nothing like freeze framing on an adult man's sweaty face with blood.
With like the arms.
Let's examine this.
Always like this. They also ad-libbed, there's a ton of cute little lines in there, like Anthony Michael Hall did the, why do you have a fake ID? So I can vote. Like there's all kinds of little moments. And Molly Ringwald was going to be Ali
Sheedy's
part. And then she convinced producers, and John Hughes like, no, I want to switch over. I want to be the spoiled princess girl.
This is after 16 Candles.
Yeah.
That's bizarre that they would even, that's almost like stunt casting. That they would even think of putting her in the Ali Sheedy.
Right.
Thank God she had I would think it'd be the
She had the
opposite.
cojones.
I would think the producers would be like forcing her into the role that she had, and she'd be like, "Let me play the Ali Sheedy role." And they're like, "No, honey, you can't do that. Just stay as your princess that you are." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Ginger
I get
princess. Yeah.
And also, hey, that's my name
I
too.
know.
Just kidding. They also Emilio Estevez was gonna play Judd Nelson's part,
Really?
but then they couldn't find anyone to play the jock, and so Emilio was like, "Okay, I'll switch over, and then we'll get Judd."
I could see that because of Repo Man. He
Mhm.
killed it in that. He was like punk rock and
Yeah.
wearing the flannels around his waist and whatnot. So I could see him
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah.
And in Maximum Overdrive.
Yes, Maximum Overdrive as well.
Oh, Emilio Estevez.
What's
He
funny?
is my fave.
Anthony Michael Hall played the nerd, and years later he shows up in Community as a bully. Right? He's like big and buff and like alcoholic, angry, mean guy now. Like in
Yeah.
real life too. Apparently he's a
Really?
piece of work from what I've heard. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
No, but like in a good way, like in a character way,
Oh, okay.
like in a bad character, but still he's a character. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Judd Nelson almost got fired on this movie because
yeah,
of the
him and
fact
John
that he
Hughes
could not
hated each
get
other.
out of character. And I mean, many people do that. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, I believe,
Yeah.
does that.
I've heard stories.
And just staying in character, but other people can't handle that.
Well, if the character's cool, like Daniel Plainview, that'd be kind of he's scary but
I
fun.
drink your milkshake, and you'd be like, "Okay, we're at Denny's.
Yeah.
Calm down."
But he's actually drinking the milkshake.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Paul Nelson,
Judd
Judd Nelson's character, Bender, that'd be kind of a grating, off camera.
Yeah.
Suck.
It's like, all right, dude,
I
just
just
stop
wanna
talking about
hang
your
out.
fucking dad. Your dad's like
Yeah.
actually spoiled you. Stop it. Stop showing me your.
He went
Your
to
cigar
he
scar.
went to a high school and posed as a real high school student, and he bought the kids beer, and then he had them drop
I
him
did
off at
see
his hotel, and then they were like, "Why do you live at a hotel?" And he's like, "Oh, my dad's incarcerated. He's in jail. I just live here."
Uh-huh.
Like he totally.
I wonder
What
how
would
many
that have to do
underage
with anything?
girls he banged.
I don't. Probably 2 or
It
3.
was for research. Just trying to research.
I'm just a method actor, guys. And he would stay in character. He would like bully Molly Ringwald off set. She hated him. John Hughes and Judd Nelson had a falling out basically from this movie. He's like, "I'm never working with Judd Nelson again."
How much of it was like he was method, and how much of it was just like he really
didn't-
enjoyed bullying people? He's like, this feels
Probably-
good. I like
He
this.
seems like he'd be a dick in real life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kind of like Vincent D'Onofrio. Like every chance he gets, he puts on tons of weight for a role, and you gotta at some point think maybe he just likes to eat.
Yeah.
Like he was in that movie
Huh.
Salt and Sea, plays a meth head. I'm talking about Vincent D'Onofrio. He plays such a meth head in this movie. His character's name is Pooh Bear, that he lost his nose. So his nose actually has a prosthetic nose in the movie.
what?
Salt and Sea, yeah. Not in real life, but like they use
Okay.
CGI. He actually removes his plastic nose because he did
Okay.
so much meth. What do you guys know about meth?
I don't know
You
anything.
get
How do
skinny.
you lose your nose? I know
He
teeth
gained
get
40
fucked up.
pounds for the fucking role. Yeah, but it makes you not eat and stay up for days on end. I mean, the
How do you lose
machinist.
your nose though? I thought your
It's
teeth.
happened a couple times here and there where people are just, you're snorting it and it gets stuck up
Oh,
there
I
in the
thought-
cavity and you collapse
Ugh.
your cartilage and whatnot.
Dang.
Yuck.
Okay. Well, I need to watch. What's it called? Salt in the Sea.
Salton.
The Salton Sea.
The Salt in the Sea.
No,
Salton.
no.
Sultan.
The Salton Sea, not
Salton
the salt
Sea.
in
Val
the
Kilmer.
sea.
Not a good movie, but
Okay.
his character is fantastic. But The Machinist with
That movie's great.
Christian Bale,
Bale.
Yeah.
that's what he should have looked like.
Okay. But he didn't. He
But
gained weight
He
to be
gained
method?
40 pounds.
That is. Okay, so he does. He just likes to eat.
I think he just likes
He's
to eat.
Vincent
Yeah.
D'Onofrio though. He can do whatever he wants.
And
He's
Judd
in-
Nelson
he's
just likes to
incredible.
bully.
He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
ever
there you
since
go.
Mystic Pizza,
Like 20
I've
years later,
eating pizza every day.
John Hughes like runs into a Judd Nelson. He's like, "You're still method acting for that role? It's been over for 20 years. What are you doing? Stop being a dick."
You know, they were gonna do sequels to The Breakfast Club every 10 years and be like,
Yeah.
"Where are these characters?"
And then
but
they were like, we don't want to see Judd.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole
John
thing.
Hughes was like, "No, I hate Judd.
I would
We
think
can't
it'd be
do
hard to get that group together.
this." Yeah.
Ali Sheedy's probably available.
Yeah. What did
Yeah.
she do? I saw her
Molly
in a
might be
Lifetime
around.
movie.
Yeah,
I saw her in a Lifetime movie where she's playing a cop.
I saw her in something not too long ago too. It's like, oh, it's good to see Ali again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a reunion. They had a reunion though. I remember for MTV Movie Awards, maybe when John Hughes died, or maybe when it was the 20th year anniversary. I forgot.
Right,
But
and
they
they were on
all
stage.
together and they were on stage.
Mhm.
So they got everyone. And then Ali Sheedy did the little. hair
Did she?
thing. Yeah,
That's
she
Gross.
did.
So gross.
Which is
Yeah.
Parmesan cheese.
That's right. That's right.
Are we sure?
Parmesan cheese.
Mhm.
That's what it said.
Thank God she's not method.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't showered for 3 weeks, so I could have dandruff. There's a movie in theaters, or might be coming out of theaters. There's a movie around that people should, once again, like put it in the catalog. It's called Soul Searching.
Mhm.
Seoul, like as in Seoul, Korea.
Mhm.
And it's like an Asian take on The Breakfast Club.
Hmm.
And it's very good.
Interesting.
It's
Ooh.
It's about a bunch of Koreans that are born in all different parts of the world other than Korea. They're teenagers, and their parents send them to this summer camp in South Korea where they get to learn about their culture, their original culture, and where they're from. And it's really good. It's called Soul Searching, and it's a trip because these like hardcore looking Korean dudes with like Texas accents, German accents, Mexican accents, all from different parts of the world, but they're all Korean.
That's crazy. Okay, that sounds great.
The poster actually is an almost an exact replica of Breakfast Club poster.
Cool.
And it's called Soul Cycle?
Soul Searching.
Soul Searching.
Soul Cycle is another kind of hell, so let's not revisit that. But Soul Searching. Okay, we'll watch that for sure. Cool. All right, Breakfast Club.
Nice. Breakfast. There it is. Hey, Anderson.
Breakfast Club.
So we asked you to link 2 films off of Easy A.
Oh, no. Yeah, I got it.
That have a common link. We're hoping you have a common link for both films. But if you did one link for each, whatever.
If I had any idea how this conversation was going to go, I would have gone with method acting.
Okay.
Now I went with high school as
Okay.
a common link.
Great.
And the one I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore in the film vault. It's been banished because I talked about it so much. It was on like every other list because it's that good of a movie. I'm talking about Alexander Payne's Election.
I love
Oh.
Election.
With Tracy Flick,
Yes, Tracy
Reese
Flick.
Witherspoon.
She's
And
amazing.
This is just a movie that I absolutely love. If you have not seen, I think most people have seen Election.
I
probably.
watched it recently because the Canon podcast did Election, and it was fabulous.
Canon podcast.
It's called The Canon.
Okay.
It's a movie podcast.
Election's just fantastic. It made me really obsessive with Alexander Payne. I've seen everything that he's done since, and I'm almost always let down because it's not Election. I have to realize that he's not going to make Election for me every other year. But his use of editing, the score in this thing is like no other. He actually, Chris Klein, remember Chris Klein?
Yeah.
Where has he gone? Is he hanging out with Phoebe
I've seen
Cates?
him at Dodger games.
Yeah.
Really? You know he
I
was
have.
engaged to Katie Holmes.
Yes, I remember that.
I love his character in this. It's actually narrated by 3 separate characters at one point or another in Election.
4 even.
Is there 4? It's Tracy
Isn't
Flick,
it his sister as well?
his sister, and
Matthew Broderick, and Chris whatever.
I guess Broderick does,
Klein
yeah.
and-
And his
Yeah.
sister does. His sister does. Jennifer does for a little bit there, but it's very rare that you hear more than one narrator in the same film. And Chris Klein, I love the story of how Alexander Payne cast him and how he actually came into Hollywood. Is he was Alexander Payne, the writer-director of Election, was looking at various high schools around Nebraska and various parts, looking for the right high school to set his movie in. The movie's all about becoming the presidential campaign for high school president, and led by Reese Witherspoon's character, Tracy Flick, who is very type A, to say the least.
She's amazing.
She's
That's
so great in this. I thought she
That's
should have been
probably
up
one
for
of her best roles.
I was
Yeah.
really pissed off that year when she wasn't nominated for Best Actress or actor in a leading female role.
Yes.
Is that what they call it now?
Sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And so, anyways, Alexander Payne's wandering around with producers at this high school. He literally bumps into this kid who's walking out of a classroom. He knocks into him, and the dude turns around and goes, "Whoa, sorry." And it's Chris Klein. And he's like, "Hey, have you ever had any acting lessons?" And he's like, "I'm in drama club." I think he might have said that. And they auditioned him, and he got the role. And then he had a huge career for around 3 years, and then fell off a
And
cliff.
he was great in this movie too. Like
He was,
so
yeah.
funny.
I think
The
he might have been
casting was kinda-
playing himself.
Probably, but still.
And then coast off that. But in his line, it always makes me laugh when he's like,
I'd be dead.
the one about
Banging in the
he's like,
pool?
sometimes for me to talk and fuck in the hot tub. It's it's perfect the way he says it.
I thought you were going to go with the one at the very end where he actually breaks the fourth wall. He looks at the camera and he goes, "Who knows what would have happened if I didn't run for president," and this and that. And he goes, he's like partying, he's drunk, he's got a sombrero on, he's at some party, and then he looks at the camera and he goes, "Or maybe I'd be dead." Such a good movie. Fucking Election.
It's so great. And her cupcakes, a pick flick.
Pick fuck, it looks like it says, though.
Yeah,
it does look
The-
like that. Obviously, that is intended.
It was intended.
Yeah.
Pick flick. Oh, she's so great. This whole movie is just, I need to see it again immediately.
The only thing I didn't like about Election is
things-
her relationship with like a teacher. I felt like I just didn't like that.
Why, did it make you feel like creepy crawly?
Yes, like
Well,
gross.
that was the
Supposed to.
point. Because she was kind of like
But
out
she
of her
doesn't-
element.
that
She
just
wasn't a high
Seems
school
like she
student.
wouldn't do that.
It does seem
Oh,
like she
no,
would
it
do
does.
that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It does seem like
Sure.
that because she was always ambitious. She was always she never fit in with the kids
She
at
didn't
school.
want what the other kids wanted.
Yeah,
she wanted more.
Yeah, she wanted more. And so what's more at high school is going to be a teacher, an older man, a married man, maybe.
Yes.
It's gross.
And then her
No.
reaction once it was over and her like photoshopping him out of the pictures and whatnot. Once,
By
it
just
was
cutting him?
so yeah. Well, and it was the kind of when Photoshop was a new thing too, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it was a cinch." Oh, and the paper cuts all over her hands when she goes on her ramp from ripping down.
Oh,
the,
and yeah, she rips all
Oh.
the posters and everything.
so good.
Perfect. Matthew Broderick's breakdown, and he's like in his underwear, and it's
I
great.
just love the,
The
bee
bee
sting.
sting. The
Yeah.
bee sting was so random.
Yeah.
I, for the longest
And
time, just
great.
assumed like he must have actually got a bee sting, and they had to write it in because it was such a random event. So random.
But
And
hilarious.
his shower, I'll never forget his shower. That's burned into my psyche forever.
Or his little triangle.
Yeah, his
washing.
little like dip in the just the quick shower in the hotel. Oh, and he just gets ruined by his neighbor who's unattractive too. Oh, just so many emotions in this movie. When he's
It's so
waiting for
great.
his neighbor.
So great. Election's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. It's
Yes,
one of my
thank you.
faves.
Love
One
Election.
of my faves.
What's the other film you brought?
See, I haven't gotten this far into your programs. I just listened to the first 30 minutes of each
Right.
one, and so it's me
Thanks.
again. We don't
Yeah,
rotate.
do
I'm
again.
so flattered.
Oh, you
no,
sons of
you're
bitches.
you're off one link. So then you have your high school films.
You're
you have
talking
election,
your two
and then
things.
what else?
But then you guys get a link off me. Are you gonna be able
No,
to?
no, no,
Ah,
no, no, no.
Yeah, see,
No,
No.
little Buddy Revell versus Jerry Mitchell.
don't know.
3 o'clock high.
Oh, you've talked
3
about this a
o'clock high.
lot, so I know what it's about.
God, this movie's so great.
Wait, what's it called?
3 o'clock high.
I've never heard of this.
1987. It's a quintessential 80s high school movie, high school teen movie from the 80s. It's a great teen 80s movie, and it didn't do so hot at the box office, but got a bit of a modest cult following, I think, on video, and it's all about a nerdy kid who's like the high school editor of his newspaper, and he needs to get a new scoop, and the scoop that he decides to get is there's a new kid that just got transferred to school named Buddy Revell, who's known. He's like a legendary bully in high schools in the area,
Right.
and he's been like expelled from all these different schools, and now he's coming to his school, and he's got this reputation. And little Jerry Mitchell's like, oh yeah, but you know what? I'm not gonna judge him by his reputation. I'm gonna, not assume that he's as bad as everyone says. Like, there's all these rules with Buddy Revell. You don't touch him. That's the number one rule. So he sees him in the
Obviously.
bathroom, and he goes up and he starts talking to him, and it doesn't go well. And things are broken, porcelain is smashed, and poor Jerry Mitchell finds himself in a situation where Buddy Revell is going to fight him after school at 3 o'clock. So then the rest of the movie is him just trying to figure out what he's going to do when he has to fight Richard Tyson playing Buddy Revell. Richard Tyson's like this big, strapping... You guys just talking about Black Hawk Down not too long ago.
Yep.
He's in Black Hawk Down.
Oh, okay.
He's in Kindergarten Cop. Remember the main bad guy? I'm trying to get a
Oh.
manicure.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Okay.
Richard
I know
Tyson.
Exactly what you're talking
His
about.
name's
Yes.
Bama is his nickname.
Mm.
I got hammered with him in a bar once. One of the greatest days of my life.
What?
One of the greatest. Yeah, we were like sloppy drunk, like our arms around each other, almost
love
singing
that.
songs. We came up with an idea. We're gonna sell shirts called "I Got Drunk with Buddy Revell" or "I Got Hammered with Buddy Revell." Buddy Revell is a character that you will never forget if you see this movie.
Okay.
One more reason I hate Steven Spielberg. He was one of the producers on the executive
what
producers.
were the first reasons?
Oh,
I
there's
missed
plenty.
The first
Oh,
reason.
Have you seen
It
War
goes
Horse?
way back.
I've
you
seen
seen
War
BFG?
Horse, yeah.
Mhm.
No, I haven't seen BFG.
You don't have to. His name, he was actually one of the executive producers. He was throwing his name on everything back then because people are dumb and they'll say, "Oh, look, Spielberg,"
Mm-hmm.
even though Spielberg
Gave
was
$10
maybe on set one day. You know what I mean? He has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
He took his name off of this movie because he didn't quite see the allure. Fuck yourself, Stevie. This movie's great.
It probably would have been more successful, and I would have heard of it if it had been as like Spielberg,
Probably.
like with the name on it.
The director, he's mainly a TV director. He's directed some other things, but it's not about like who directed it. Even though it was shot beautifully, it was shot like a cartoon. It feels like early Coen Brothers work almost.
Okay.
3 o'clock high. Oh, I
You
love
think this is
movie.
on Netflix?
No.
Probably Amazon then.
Probably.
Okay.
It was at one point, I think.
I'm gonna try. I'll try and find it on Amazon. Wherever I will
You're gonna-
find it streaming,
I
and
think
then
you're
I'll
gonna
let
love
everyone know.
I think you're gonna love it.
Okay.
3 o'clock high.
All right, I'm excited.
So
Buddy
far we've
Revell.
talked about Zootopia. We went to
Yeah.
Stereotypes and talked about Easy A as well as The Breakfast Club. Off of Easy A, Anderson brought high school films with 3 o'clock high as well as Election.
Mhm.
And now we're going to do our link off of The Breakfast Club, which is going to be... And Anderson, I thought about you for this because I was like, I know what Anderson likes.
Irreversible.
So we're going to do Emilio Estevez films. And let's just say both of the films we're going to do because they both go together.
Yeah.
Stacy's going to be doing...
Mighty Ducks.
And I'm going
Oh.
to do the Mighty Ducks 2, D2.
Nice. D2.
No.
Iceland can fuck themselves. Yes.
Let's
Now-
start with the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Okay, so I am a child of the 90s, right?
Yes.
This came out in 92, so it was a little too early for me to see it in films because I was like 2 years old. But The Mighty Ducks is one of those movies where it could even be a part of our stereotypes link as well, because there's all the stereotypes in there. There's the fat kid that's, can be like a cake eater. There's the kid that has no dad. They have the black kid wearing like a Rasta little hat, which I thought was kind of racist. They have a Puerto Rican kid. They have a kid that's a bully that's like super shy. Like they have all little stereotypes, and they're a ragtag little crew. And okay, I was surprised to remember, like I didn't remember the beginning of the film and why he got in trouble with the law and had to coach this little hockey team.
Yeah.
But he got a DUI. He was like a drunk driver, and this is like a Disney film. So I was like, wait. What? I can't believe they had that in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is
Pretty
the
progressive.
storyline, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's back when Falling Down Drunk was still kind of funny.
Yeah. There you go. If you were it kind of
Yeah.
let's say a sloppy drunk that
Yeah.
gets drunk with Buddy Revell or whatever we were just talking
Yeah,
about.
I got hammered with Buddy Revell. It's before the Mad probably.
Oh yeah, before
Mothers
Mad
Against-
Mothers
yeah.
Against Drunk Driving and all.
Who
that stuff.
evidently the chairman or president of that.
Yeah, has a DUI.
A couple. A
Oh
few.
really?
And
Like
then
after
ongoing.
she became
yeah.
that, or
Evidently, I don't
after,
know.
Like,
or
yeah,
before,
allegedly.
and then that's why she became.
I've heard
president of
stories.
Mad.
It's usually from drunk people in bars. So
Oh shit!
I should let
well,
that.
yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, the
maybe not
founder of
just them.
AA obviously was an alcoholic as well.
Yeah, well, that makes sense
So-
previously, but then if the mother. If the president of Mad is still getting hammered,
Well,
and
still, then that's a
slide.
problem.
I think there have been incidences after. Yes,
That's sad.
Dang.
I want that to be true.
It's
I really,
scandal.
really want that
Why
to be true.
isn't that more of a scandal? I feel like that would have been big news.
Yeah.
It's directed by Stephen Herrick, who directed, get this, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Mm.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead,
Love that.
101 Dalmatians,
What?
love that movie, Rockstar, and also The Cutting Edge 2, Fire and Ice, which I know I love The Cutting Edge 1.
And you didn't
As
see
well.
too, right?
I
But he
didn't-
also
I
did
haven't
Mr.
seen 2.
Holland's Opus.
Oh,
Topic.
okay. Topic. Oh, I love that you know that. That's perfect.
Oh, I love that movie.
So yeah, Mighty Ducks. Okay, this team of children who are all misfits, and so is Emilio Estevez. He's self-centered. He's such an asshole lawyer. He finds himself. He finds his center again, and so do the kids. And it all culminates in that flying V at the end. I always get so emotional, and they come together as a team, and they win. And quack, quack, quack.
I
It's
wish
so
we
good.
could see
pumped me
it.
up so much.
Why don't we ever see the Flying V? Why don't the Anaheim Ducks ever do the Flying
I
V?
would die.
I was gonna say it's not
They should come out that way.
that realistic.
Well,
I
like-
don't think.
I
Yeah.
think it works.
And
it
think-
works in the movie, and it works for me because I get a boner every time it happens. I'm like, yes. It's so emotional.
The Ducks of Anaheim are actually trying to distance themselves from this,
Now they
this
are.
corny movie. I
Well,
love
'cause
this.
Anaheim Ducks are owned by Disney.
They
so
were
they can't
not
really,
anymore.
Oh, they're not anymore.
It was
Oh,
very
okay.
upsetting when they first came in the league. They're like, okay, Disney's got a team now, and fighting has to be a thing of the past because Disney doesn't like how it looks for the league, and now that they're
Sure.
involved, they're going to be naming their team in conjunction with this new movie that they're trying to sell tickets for. So it's awful. It was just so gross to my favorite sport. Ugh. But it's now
Anderson
they're
is
just
a
the
Penguins fan.
now they're just the Ducks of Anaheim, and I think they're trying to shed that ridiculous storied past.
Jake Gyllenhaal auditioned and got the part for Charlie, and then his parents, who were in the industry, were like, "No, you're not gonna be a child actor. You're not allowed." And he was like screaming at his mom and crying in the kitchen, like, "You have to let me do this movie." I think he's told this story on like Jimmy Fallon or something. And so eventually went to Joshua Jackson, of course.
I also love how it's like a lot of the kids said that they could play hockey, and it turns out they couldn't.
They just
and I was
lied.
like, no shit, people lie
Lying
all the
little shits.
time.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I know how to skate.
Yeah, exactly.
I put on skates once.
Kinda
no,
worked,
I'm
though.
skilled.
They're all young enough though that it kind of worked, right?
Yeah,
they
they're
would
not
have
meant-
to
Yeah.
like train them anyways in some sort of camp, like to get what they wanted from the scenes anyway.
Yeah,
I
and like those scenes where they're all learning, they have to swing and like be gentle with the egg, and they're just like cracking it the whole time. I mean, that was probably their actual camp they went through, and then they just filmed it, I think. Yeah.
I could see that, and they made a montage out of it.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, two
for
birds.
Sure.
Two
for
birds.
Sure. And it's got what's it called? Eldon Henson, the guy from the best friend from She's All That, and also he was
Oh.
just in Daredevil. He plays Foggy. I love that guy. He's super
Nice.
adorable, and he's in this movie. He plays the big bully who is like, they want to get him. He like played football or whatever, and he's like super intense and athletic. And then he's like, I don't know. And then they're like, why don't you join? He's like, I don't know how to skate. And he just has this natural athletic ability. And then his brother's in the movie too, but they had to dye his hair because they didn't want him to play brothers in the film because they look too much alike. So he had to like change his look up.
I feel like if this movie were made today, it would just be on the Disney Channel. It wouldn't have.
It for sure be like a made-for-TV.
Yeah, it's like Brink or something.
Yeah. Oh, remember Brink? Remember Smart House? Luck of the Irish. Oh my gosh. Young Girl of the 21st Century. Zetas Lapidus. These movies are amazing.
I did not have the Disney Channel growing up.
Oh, I did. I was all about those made-for-TV Disney movies. They were an event.
Doesn't that kind of fuck you up though as an adult? Like I was subjected to Disney films as a child, and I loved them, and I believed that they were true. I thought they were accurate representations of the world.
Like Old Yeller?
And then when I got like, no, not like the live action. That just made me. I was just talking about Old Yeller last night about how much it made me cry. Yeah. But no, like you see these movies and you think that like everything's gonna be fair in the end, and like everything's it idealizes the world, and then like you're by the time you're like 11 or 12, it's a real kick in the ass when you realize, world's a really dark, horrible fucking place.
Someone's bitter
Disney's
they didn't
liar.
make the hockey team, aren't they?
I don't know how to skate, and I don't lie about it.
I also like that Michael J. Fox was considered for the role of Gordon Bombay as well as Charlie Sheen, and
he'd make a good
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah, but they said he was too old.
Michael J. Fox could make a good goalie these days.
Why? Because he's all over the place.
Yeah, he covers a lot of space.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
He would think that's funny. He's got
Parkinson's
a sense of humor.
Okay, good.
Okay.
We're laughing with you, Michael.
Yeah.
Not
Laughing
at you.
with you.
Haven't you seen him like in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh yeah. Oh. And he's like walking around. That is pretty funny. That is the best.
He's the best.
Oh,
I miss him.
Let's move it on to D2, The Mighty Ducks, which came out March 25th, 1994. I like this one better.
I like
than
this
the original.
way better, and I don't understand why. I don't know why I saw the first one. Why? What the fuck was I doing watching the second one?
The second
I'll
one was
never
great.
watch Slapshot 2 ever. Like that's just it's blasphemy to even talk about that movie. Like it doesn't exist because the first one's so good. But Mighty Ducks, like it wasn't made for me. Why did I see that? And then why did I see the second one? This is everything I stand against, but the second one just swept me off my feet.
It's
Such
great.
a beautiful movie.
Oh, I love it so much. I love that they have added characters because they're going to be, going to the big leagues.
Yeah.
And so they bring in like Mike Vitar as Luis Mendoza. I don't remember his name. I didn't write it down.
Eldon
Damn
Henson
it.
killed it. I remember Eldon Henson really killing it in this movie. He's the big bully, the big
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the first one too,
Yeah,
but he's like the
that's what I was
bad guy
talking
in the
about.
first one, right?
Yeah. Well, not the bad guy. He was just the mysterious
yeah.
one. He was a football player.
The one that he's kind of like
Yeah,
the
he has like the
Kelly
long dark
Leak
hair
type character.
Yeah. And so they wanted him on the team, but he was like, I don't know how to skate, and so they eventually just teach him. And that's the guy who I was saying is he plays the best friend, and she's all that, and then he's foggy. So he's like.
I didn't realize you were talking about
sensitive
Eldon.
little guy.
I didn't hear you say Eldon.
Yeah.
He's also in one of my favorite movies ever, The Mighty. So good.
I haven't seen the Mighty. What's that?
The Mighty is him and Kieran Culkin, and Kieran Culkin's got
Love
like
Kieran
this
Culkin.
disease. Oh, this is another one of those movies that came out at
Yeah.
the same time as that other horrible piece of shit movie, Simon Birch.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're very similar.
Very similar.
Kieran Culkin plays a character with this rare disease where his organs keep growing, but his bones don't. So he's like crippled, and his
Dang.
crippled's not. He's disabled. Crippled's a very old, antiquated term. I'm sorry that I used it. And then he's got a new neighbor, and it's played by Eldon, who's not that bright, but he's like this big dude, and they team up against the bullies in town. And this movie is fantastic.
The Mighty.
So
when
good.
did it come out? Like 2002 or something?
Yeah,
Early
a few years
2000s?
after D2.
Okay.
Yeah.
and
the
Oh,
night.
so
after
it was-
D3.
so it
The
would be
Mighty,
like
1998, yeah.
98. Okay.
The Mighty,
Okay,
check
cool.
it out.
Remember, I haven't seen MD3 in a long
I haven't
time.
seen it at all.
Joshua Jackson, I remember, bleached his hair. And
dear.
they were on Rodeo Drive for some reason.
And for some
I
reason,
can't
they were on
remember.
the JV team. Wait, I'm thinking of the third one. You're thinking of the second
No,
one. They
I'm
did
thinking
Rodeo
of the third
Drive.
one. But Joshua Jackson bleached his hair, and they were. I feel like they were on Rodeo Drive.
They did Rodeo Drive in the second one.
Oh, okay. I'm
But in
mixing
the
up
third
parts.
one, they go to like college or whatever, and then they're
Yeah.
on the JV team, and it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, didn't
Yeah.
you just win like?
They should do a D4, and they're all like hammered, getting DUIs, and
They're all-
coaching their own respective teams.
Spin-offs.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's
and they're all in the same league
the cycle
with
continues.
their coaches. Yeah,
The Mad President is there too. She's got a coach
Hammered.
team.
I
She's
feel
got
like
one
we
of those beer
came
helmets.
up with this concept for Bring It On, like the
Yeah.
next Bring It On and
Yeah.
we'd have Kirsten Dunst come back, but she's like the coach of a team, and then
Mhm.
Gabrielle
she's the Sparky
Union.
Plastry,
Yeah,
and
is
she's
the coach
scamming
of a team.
everyone and making up the same routines.
No idea
for
what you
all-
guys are talking about.
What?
And
You
Dwayne
haven't-
Johnson is the choreographer. Yeah, we've come up with this.
That's right.
That was good. That was
That's
good.
perfect. Okay, so D2. Sorry, back to your
D2.
movie.
Back to D2.
Mhm.
What? Iceland? I don't know. Mark Maron has a cameo in this as an angry valet, but it was
Oh.
cut out.
Mm.
Was he angry about that?
Probably. Thank you. Thank you.
That's perfect.
There was a bit of trivia that I thought, oh, Anderson might like this, but when Dwayne Robertson was introduced, he says it's a great day for hockey,
Mhm.
which is a tribute to former Pittsburgh
The
Penguins,
Badger Bob.
Calgary Flames, Wisconsin University Badgers coach and former USA Hockey executive Badger Bob Johnson, who died in 1991.
Brain cancer. Very sad. We still
Damn.
miss you, Bob.
And
It's a
he
great day
greeted
for
his
hockey.
players every day with that.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry over it. Stop it. Let's move on.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it.
That's our movies. Those are all our movies.
We did them all. We did. We went from Zootopia. We did Stereotypes and did Easy A, as well as The Breakfast Club. From Easy A, we did High School with 3 O'Clock High, as well as Election. And off of The Breakfast Club, we did Emilio Estevez with The Mighty Ducks and The Mighty Ducks, or D2, The Mighty
Poor
Ducks.
bastard. Poor Emilio. What a storied career. And the two movies you guys picked for him was D1 and
Well,
D2.
we've talked about other films of his.
We talked
so-
about Maximum Overdrive. We've talked.
Repo Man? No.
No, we
No,
haven't talked
no
Repo
Repo
Man
Man.
yet. I haven't seen Repo Man. I need to see
I've
that.
seen parts of Repo Man.
A little slow.
My husband owns it, I believe.
You should watch it.
I should.
Yeah, you should give it a shot.
My husband also wants to. What was that movie? Phantasm. Have you seen Phantasm?
Parts of it it's been years and years, but no, it's one of those trip out movies. This
Because
movie's
he was
better when
saying-
you're high, bro.
He was saying that the Neon Demon is like really influenced by Phantasm.
I could see that.
And he like had lots of like specific points as to this like lines up with this in the movie and this
Huh.
lines up with this in the movie. I was like, interesting.
Nicholas,
So I
you
need to see
you
that.
just plagiarizing, buddy? You just stealing people's.
No, it's my own movie. Whatever his accent
I
was.
really hope people like it. It's very deep. If you don't like it, it's because you don't understand it. It's not my fault. Why am I Mexican now?
I don't know.
that was a terrible one.
It really was pretty awful. If you do not like my movie, I'm sorry.
That's really bad.
Oh goodness.
I hated that movie. Sorry.
You hated Neon Demon?
I keep thinking about it though.
I
It's one of
liked
those movies
Neon
that
Demon.
gets in your brain and you
So
can't get it
weird.
The
It's
last
just so
scene,
weird.
The very last scene, just because I have I am
The
really
very last
grossed out
frame.
by throw up and spit, and I can't do it.
Oh,
and then she
that
eats.
scene. Yeah,
I can't.
okay.
I can't. No.
Stupid. It was just dumb. It was like, isn't this zany? Isn't this crazy? You'll never forget this. You're right. I won't forget it. But
It's for no reason.
it's just.
We got to talk about this later.
Yeah, I
We'll
spent
talk
a lot of
about- we'll
time
talk
on
on the end.
cinematics talking about it. I have this
Okay.
theory that he and there's others like him that they are on the cusp of genius, but they're so insecure. They're worried about the public not liking their stuff, so they'll throw shit in there so that if you don't like it, he could say what I already said.
You
Like,
don't
you just
understand
don't. You just don't get it.
Mm.
It's like, do you get it, buddy?
Have you seen his wife's documentary?
Yeah, that's what made me think all these things.
Yeah.
Because he
no.
comes off as such a prick in that movie.
Yeah. Well, he comes off
Insecure.
as very insecure, and you can tell.
Self-centered. He's got a family. He's
What's
not
it
even
called?
paying attention. My Life, directed by Nicholas
Nicholas Winding
Winding Refn.
I think you
Interesting.
can buy it on Amazon.
45
Again,
minutes.
Yeah, it's not. And the documentary itself is not like his wife is. She's not a director. Like she's not
No.
a good
Turkey
editor or
jerky.
anything. Yeah, but the subject matter is interesting because I was like, how did Only God Forgives happen? And I like that movie, but I mean, I like parts of it. But you're like, how did this come about? And how did his insecurities come about? And you can see that in little moments in the documentary.
He's just
She didn't get enough
agonizing.
into it. It was more about their family life and how she's also insecure in their own relationship and how her career, she put it on pause to have a family and everything. So it's more about like her and
Her sacrifices for him, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
see what he's doing. And when you got to think about what he's doing is he's making art, which is it's great. I love it. I'm giving most of my life to films and whatnot, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's all like above the actual necessities of life. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all extra. It's all if
Yeah.
you're living in a country where you can watch films and enjoy yourself, things are going good. So the
Yes.
fact that he's just agonizing and bitching about and playing both sides of it, like, I really hope I can find an audience, but I don't want people to miss. If he's trying to have everything and has cake and eat it too,
yeah.
trying to be misunderstood while at the same time wanting an
Being
audience. But
yeah.
oh,
You
fuck
can't
yourself.
like want like a normal like he's a normal family man.
Yeah.
He has a wife and children and they want a normal family life, but then he also wants to be the artist and
He's
can't
so
really-
worried
hard.
about how he's perceived instead
Yeah.
of just making a movie that you want to make, dude.
Huh.
Put it out there and hope
Yeah.
for the best. He's
That
the kind of
sounds
guy that, like,
interesting.
if he posted something on Instagram, like, he's just sitting there watching the comments nonstop. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, stop it.
Yeah.
So self-centered.
Yeah.
So to
But I
end-
do love
close out-
Drive. And
I do
Valhalla.
love
Drive.
everyone
Drive
loves
is
Drive.
great.
Valhalla's pretty great too.
Yeah.
to close out our show, and Bronson. Don't you like Bronson?
Oh yeah.
I need to go back and revisit
I like
Bronson.
I like Bronson a lot.
To close out our show, we're going to go with our movie link tweets. I tweet out what is your favorite movie that deals with stereotypes, and I got just a few back. Kevin Malizen says, I want to say white chicks out of spite. Joey Noel says Cabin in the Woods. Matthew Johnston, Almost Famous, although perhaps I'm stretching or forcing that. Jeff Rossman says, I think I have to go with Legally Blonde. Jamie Habit's Kick-Ass and the Jump Street films. Alfred E. Wrigley says, my daughter loves Zootopia. That's a good one. There's Zootopia.
There you go.
And then we link it to Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon was in Patriots Day with J.K. Simmons, who was in Zootopia. So there you go. That's an easy little link. That one's
Yep.
quick.
And since you don't listen to the entire show, you don't know this ridiculous bit that we do at the end where
Oh, it's the worst.
we ask if the movie would be better with Rocky. Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as some character in this film, portrayed by StacyOHoward. Today, Rocky will be playing Judy Hopps.
Yes, that's right. And we do this because I do a terrible Rocky impression.
Mhm.
So don't look at me. Don't pay attention to what's
looking
happening
down.
right now.
I was already planning on not looking. That was my
All right,
plan.
so here we go. Life's a little bit messy. We all make mistakes, no matter what type of animal you are. Yo, change starts with you. So bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost
So there you
Rocky's
go.
like speech in Rocky 4.
Yeah, yeah. it's
Pretty
yeah.
much could be.
We're
There
just
you go.
missing a robot who somehow turns into a woman by the end.
You just got to put an apron on it.
I don't know.
There's this movie that I love called Ape. It's made by there's another movie called Buzzard, which I absolutely love. There's these two. They're both available on Amazon for free if you wanted to take the plunge.
6 Degrees of Feature Film, sponsored by Amazon.
And there's this Ape is all about stand-up comedy. It's about this kid trying to learn stand-up comedy and try and figure it out. He's not doing so hot, and his main competitor, who's also his friend and his peer, does a really bad Rocky on stage, like just really bad comedy. This whole movie is about terrible comedy, and he's on stage and he's going, I like Sylvester Stallone, and I bet what's Rocky's favorite ice cream? Rocky Road. Oh, it's so terrible. It just makes you cringe. Rocky Road.
Thank you for joining us today, Anderson. We're
Thanks for
excited
having me,
that you could
guys.
be here.
It was a good time.
Where can the audience find you?
There's a couple things. Number one, groupersthemovie.com. Groupersthemovie.com. Like Groupers the Fish, groupersthemovie.com. If you have any interest in what I am spending all of my efforts, a lot of my energy towards creating the feature film. I made a bunch of shorts in the last year and a half, and now it's time to move on to the feature film. So I'm just collecting emails over there so I can keep you guys all in the know about what's going on with the fundraising that's coming in September.
I went to your short film screening.
Oh, yeah, the
As you
Cold
know.
Cockle Night back
I
in
did.
September.
It was delightful. You are very talented,
Oh, thank you.
and I enjoyed every single one that I saw, except for one.
Which one did
I'm
you
just
not
kidding.
like?
I didn't. I liked
I would
them
I
all.
would like one to be offensive to you.
No, none of them were offensive to me.
Like I'm making all my shorts available for a donation to the feature. All that. That's how it's all going to work. So I'm going to make those work for me. And then cinematics. Here's your thing. You don't listen to cinematics because you don't get out to the theater often enough. We
Right.
cover 2 movies that are coming out that Friday. The show comes out on Wednesdays on iTunes, and we cover 2 movies that come out on Friday. And then we also have a streaming pick at the end, and Greg, my co-host, has a DVD pick. So
Okay, so end of the show.
yeah, at the end of the show, and also it's keeping you abreast as to good movies that will otherwise go unnoticed. Like Captain Fantastic.
I want to
so
see
good.
Captain Fantastic.
So
It's
good.
like what Surfwise would be if it were a fictionalized version.
Surfwise
and
was
where
my
the,
streaming
like,
pick that week.
Yes, there is a
'cause
connection
I tied it
there.
in, yeah. And there's a movie called King Jack that no one saw this year, but it's fucking great. And I almost brought it to the program
Who's
today.
in it?
Nobody's, but it's all about the coming of age story of a teenage kid who grows up, and then he has to in this little shitty town where there's horrible bullies, and then he has to protect his little cousin who's like staying with him. It's a great fucking movie. No one saw
I'm gonna watch
Came
it.
and went. It's so sad nowadays. Like really good independent movies are in theaters for like a week. That movie Tickled. It's a great documentary.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've heard about it.
Oh my God, I've heard about this.
It was in theaters for like 1 week in L.A. and New York. That's it. Now it's gone. You got to wait for it on Amazon or Netflix. But
Is
if you
it
listen
as
to
intense as the trailer?
I don't know what the trailer is, but this movie is unbelievable. How much shit is just you can't believe every turn is like, what? That really happened? What?
Yeah.
This it reminds me of the Catfish whole thing.
It's a
where they
little bit
did
like
a trailer
Catfish.
And they're like, what is happening? You thought it was like a horror film or something because you're like, well, I don't know.
When I first saw Catfish, I thought it was a horror film. Like I was afraid for something terrible to happen.
Like she's gonna literally murder them, and
It's
then they're
really
gonna be
scary
like, this is found
when
footage.
they're going down that driveway and it's
Oh.
like dark. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let trailers ruin things for you.
okay.
But
All right.
Tickled, yeah. Anyways, cinematics.
Cinematics.
That's it. Oh, the Film Vault and After Stats.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
Anderson Cowan, but I
He
rarely-
doesn't do
Oh,
the
you're
social
starting to a
medias.
little bit. I tweeted
You-
yesterday.
Sometimes,
Good job.
Yeah.
sometimes
I saw a sci-fi
you
movie.
do Instagram. Sometimes
I like Instagram. I saw a sci-fi movie last week. It's coming up in a couple weeks, and the most exciting, most fun part of the movie by far was watching the security team watch us with their night vision goggles. That was fun. I really enjoyed that part of the movie.
Okay.
I
It's
watched
always
that
fun.
more than the actual screen because the screen was making me nauseous and bored.
That is always interesting when you see those people on the side and you're like, what is
And
happening?
they had
right
the
now?
goggles out a lot. And they were just like searching. And I have to think that they probably found like a good-looking girl, and they were just kind of lingering on her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third row.
Stacy, where can
You
we
can find me
you?
on Twitter at SOHoward2012. Just tweeting about movies all day, every day. Where can we find you?
You can find me all day,
Right
every
here.
day, as you said, on Twitter at Miss Movies, and that's
It'd
it.
be really weird if you just gave out your home address. You can find me at 1142.
No,
Nope. That's
No,
not it.
that's not it.
No.
Okay. That would be weird, though. You know, everyone's always like plugging
That
like where
would
you
be
can
weird.
find them, like the handles. If people will start giving out their address, you can find me at 226.
They're gonna come hand deliver T-shirts. to our
P.O.
door
box.
That
Hopefully with the
it
sprinkler.
was so awkward. I'm like, all right, gotta go by.
And full circle. Back to the beginning.
Thank you for that callback, Stacy. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
6 Degrees of Feature Film is produced by StacyOHoward and me. Special thank you to Ken Knapsack for our intro and Matt Brown for our artwork.